Hello, it's Saturday, May 23rd of 2020, and this is another devotion for troubled times. And as I've been doing recently, today's devotion is based on the 2020 readings that we have been doing. Once again, those readings are not readings, they're listening. We're really trying to pay attention to the voice of the Lord. And this particular day, the readings are from a passage that I recently taught on Wednesday night. And it's a passage that I just absolutely love. It's 2 Chronicles 6 and 7. And it's the dedication of the temple that Solomon has. And so he is preparing the temple in Jerusalem that has been built for actual service and for use and for worship. And in the process of that, one of the things that is said is that it's a house of prayer. And that's what Jesus then quotes when he's angry later on and he goes through the temple precincts and he overturns the money changers and drives the animals out and all of that. And so the idea that it is the house of prayer comes really from this passage in 2 Chronicles chapter 6 and 7. And I love this passage because here Solomon is king. He's a glorious king. He's probably one of the greatest kings that has ever reigned. You know, his father, King David, was a great king, but Solomon exceeded him in wisdom. At least that's how his ministry began. We all know that he got a little bit sideways later on, but his ministry began as a really powerful, rich, rewarding ministry. And he built the temple for the Lord, and he built it with humility, and he consecrated it with humility. And so here in this passage in 2 Chronicles 6, beginning at verse 12, Solomon stood before the altar of the Lord in the presence of all the assembly of Israel, and he spread out his hands. Solomon had made a bronze platform 5 cubits long and 5 cubits wide and 3 cubits high, and had set it in the court, and he stood on it. Basically, this is a little platform. It's not a huge one. It's just a square platform for him so that he can be raised up above the crowd. And you might think, well, that doesn't sound humble. But this next thing is, here he is the king. What normally happens when people come into the presence of the king? They bow. In this case, Solomon is the one who is going to bow in the presence of the people. Now, he's bowing before God, obviously, and calling upon God, but he bows and the people are standing. So it says that then he knelt on his knees in the presence of all the assembly of Israel and spread out his hands toward heaven and said, O Lord God of Israel, there is no God like you in heaven or on earth, keeping covenant and showing steadfast love to your servants, who walk before you with all their heart, who have kept with your servant David, my father, what you declared to him. You spoke with your mouth, and with your hand have fulfilled it this day. One of the things that I love about Solomon is that he is saying here, God, you promised something. You promised it with your mouth, but you fulfilled it with your arm. And I wonder, in this season, in this time, and in our lives, do we believe that God keeps his promises? That he doesn't just speak with his mouth, but that he also moves with his mighty arm? Yesterday, we talked a little bit about salvation through Jesus Christ and the power of that. But I wonder sometimes if we wonder in the isolation and the loneliness and the sickness, in the face of death and loss and things of that nature, do we sometimes lose sight of the fact that God is faithful and he keeps his promises? Well, if we do, there's one promise that I just want you to be reminded of. Jesus said to his disciples before he left them, I will be with you always, even to the end of the age. What that means is you're never alone, that God is always here with you. He's also promised to hear your prayers and to respond. And so there's just a lot going on that I want you to be mindful of and that I want you to be thinking about. And I want you to cling to those promises because those promises are sure and certain as though they had already happened. In fact, oftentimes the promise is made as though it is a done deal, even though it hasn't yet happened. Because when God makes a promise, it's a done deal. You don't have to wonder if he's going to do it. He will do it. You just have to wait and see. So today, as you go through your day, search out the promises of God. Think about the things that he has promised you. Your salvation is secure. The reality that he will sanctify you. The truth that he does not leave you. All of these things are promises that he makes to you. And so I just want you to hold on to those promises and believe because he will fulfill it. So until Monday, when we meet again with the Devotions for Troubled Times, I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great day in the Lord tomorrow. Join us, if you would, YouTube Live, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. God bless you.